Follow us to stay updated on debates, discussions, facts, and tips about health. Click on the subscribe button and the bell icon for latest updates.
Dental health is a crucial aspect of overall well-being, yet conditions like severe tooth decay or infection often go unnoticed until they cause significant discomfort. Root canal therapy is a highly effective procedure that can save a damaged tooth, alleviate pain, and prevent further complications. However, misconceptions about the treatment often lead to unnecessary fear and delayed intervention. Understanding the importance of timely root canal therapy can help individuals preserve their natural teeth and maintain long term oral health. Today, let's explore the significance of this procedure, debunk common myths, and discuss how early treatment can make a profound difference in one's dental well being. Welcome, everyone. I'm Dr. Samya Saluja from Tip Media, and today we are here to discuss an essential aspect of dental health, root canal therapy, and to help us understand its significance, benefits, and the role of timely intervention. We are honored to be joined by the esteemed dental expert, Dr. Shalini Agarwal. Dr. Shalini Agarwal is a distinguished academic and clinician with extensive experience in the field of endodontics and conservative dentistry. Ma'am currently works as a professor at Dr. D.Y. Patil Dental College in Pimpri, Pune, where she has been instrumental in shaping the next generation of dental professionals. Dr. Agarwal's academic journey began at the Government Dental College in Aurangabad, where she earned her dental degree. Her commitment to advancing dental science led her to pursue further specialization and research, contributing significantly to the field. Throughout her career, Ma'am has been dedicated to both teaching and clinical practice. At Dr. D.Y. Patil Dental College, Ma'am has played a pivotal role in curriculum development, ensuring that students receive education that combines theoretical knowledge with practical application. Her teaching methodology emphasizes critical thinking and hands-on experience, preparing students to excel in various dental disciplines. In addition to her teaching responsibilities, Dr. Agarwal is actively involved in clinical practice. Ma'am is known for her expertise in various dental procedures and her commitment to patient care. Her clinical acumen is complemented by her research endeavors, where she has contributed to numerous national and international studies aimed at advancing dental health practices. Notably, Ma'am has authored and co authored numerous publications, including studies on finite element analysis of stress concentration in fiber post systems and the effect of matrix metalloproteinase inhibitors on dentin bonding. Dr. Agarwal's professional affiliations and contributions to dental literature underscore her standing in the academic community. Ma'am's work continues to influence both her peers and students, reflecting her dedication to the advancement of dental education and practice. Committed to excellence, Dr. Agarwal upholds her dual responsibilities as an educator and clinician, continuously improving dental care and education. Dr. Shalini Agarwal, Tip Media welcomes you, ma'am.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you for joining us today, ma'am. Okay, ma'am, we understand that root canal therapy is a crucial procedure, in preserving the natural teeth and alleviating severe dental pain. Yet many individuals, they may not fully grasp its significance or the need for this timely intervention. So, to address this concern, I'd like to begin this discussion with the most fundamental question that what exactly is this root canal therapy?
Okay, I'm so glad you asked me this, Dr. Soumya. The thing is, if I could just start this piece of mine with a very small anecdote, which will, I hope, will resonate with the people watching this video.
Sure,
So
ma'am.
this happened with me a few years back. I had accompanied my father on his appointment with the cardiologist, or rather the
Right.
cardiac surgeon who was due to do his bypass. So
Right.
we went in. I still remember that because we were told extensively that he doesn't have much time. So we were to report on time, and then it would take how much ever the time the appointment took, and then we'd be out. So I remember
Right.
watching the time very carefully, and we reached there. We went into the doctor's office. We were ushered in directly into his office, and
Right.
he explained the procedure. And would you believe it? 5 minutes later, we were getting the appointment for the cardiac procedure. So he took
Okay.
less than 5 minutes to explain the procedure to us, and
Right.
our acceptance rate was also very high because we knew
Okay.
that it was being done for a life-threatening condition. So
Right.
the total exchange was only that much. But in the
Right.
clinic, I find that we have to go into a little more detailed description, as I'm going to be
Right.
doing now. And I hope that the people who are watching this video, whether they are clinicians or whether they are patients or they are still in a dilemma whether they or not they should proceed for a root canal. So I would just like to tell them that there are only two systems in the human body. One is the
Right.
human brain, and the other is the tooth, which is
Right.
actually soft tissue surrounded by hard tissue. This happens
Right.
only in two cases. So
Okay.
that is why the way the disease progresses in both these systems is is very rapid, because we don't have the tooth doesn't have a chance for survival once the infection sets in, and there is a huge mass of mass. I mean, it's a bundle. It's a neurovascular bundle which is
Right.
present inside of the tooth, and
Right.
this is kind of nourishing the tooth and allowing the tooth to perform its normal functions. So,
Right.
because of various reasons, this bundle could get infected, and then there is no recourse available. It is not like you can bandage it or apply
Yes.
Dettol and just blow on it, or put a band-aid. We don't have any such recourse over there. So, the wisest thing at that point is to get a root canal treatment done. So a
Right.
lot of patients feel that maybe it is unnecessary. Is the doctor doing this for other for a maybe for an unwanted reason, or whatever the feeling might be? But it is the
Right.
truth of the matter that we cannot bandage that infected tooth. It needs to
Right.
undergo a root canal treatment, which means going inside of the tooth, removing all the diseased matter, then flooding it with various disinfecting solutions, and
Right.
then filling in that cavity with a material which will hold for a really long while. And if
Right.
all goes well, and if the patient's immune system is solid and there is no problem with the immune system, then the prognosis of the root canal could be anything between 6 months to even 10, 15 years after it has been treated properly. So that is,
Right.
I hope that is the answer you were looking for from me.
Yes, ma'am, absolutely. So, what I read from the answer that you've just given would be that a root canal kind of saves a tooth compared to extraction, and we are technically
Yes,
increasing, the life of the tooth, depending on the patient's maintenance up
yes,
to 15 years. Right, ma'am? Okay. And like you've
yes,
just
yes,
shared a personal experience with us about your father. And you just said that you've gone to a cardiologist, and it just took 5 minutes for the cardiologist,
yes.
to give you
Explain.
the diagnosis, and then there was a surgery given. So okay. I mean, what common signs and symptoms would you say that patients would come to you for a root canal treatment, or for what they would be needing a root canal treatment?
So with the one of the more decisive factors when it comes to making a decision about whether or not a tooth needs root canal treatment is the fact that the patient will not be comfortable. So it
Okay.
does not always have to be a ripping, roaring pain. It can simply be a pain which is not letting you rest at peace. I mean, you
Right.
will be distracted at work. There is something which is called as quality of life, so that gets impeded, so there'll be a
Right.
nagging pain. This is the lower side of the spectrum. As the
Okay.
spectrum goes higher, so that
Yeah.
there will be a sharp shooting pain. Maybe just keeping a hand or doing something like that not going to work anymore.
Right.
If the patient has been popping pills and taking some painkillers or some
Right.
anti-inflammatories, those will have a limited effect, and then they will stop having effect altogether. And
Okay.
then finally, at the very high end of the spectrum would be the patient developing a swelling, either
Okay.
immediately adjacent to the tooth, which is visible inside of the mouth, or then
Right.
outside of the mouth, even where it will be visible to a person who is talking to the patient or in front of the patient. So that we call it as an extraoral swelling. So that is the higher end of the spectrum. So if the patient is just neglected it for whatever reason, lack of time, just a dental phobia and phobia of dental treatment rather, so the person who just ignores it, then it goes to the higher spectrum. Otherwise, any nagging pain, persistent pain should be addressed by the patient immediately, and the individual needs to report to the nearest facility which can offer dental care.
Right, right. And I'm just going to divide this root canal therapy in three major steps. The ones that the
Okay.
patients should take before the surgery or before the treatment or the therapy, the
Okay.
ones that would happen with them during the procedure, and then of course the after precautions. So I'm starting with the ones who've been, who have been suggested to undergo a root canal therapy. So what steps should a patient take before undergoing a root canal treatment to ensure that the procedure goes smoothly?
I'm talking from across the table here as a clinician. One of
Right,
the most common things which patients often feel is not important enough is that they do not speak enough about the medical treatments that they might be undergoing. So
right,
it is not always. It is not always that they're trying to camouflage it or hide it. It could simply be that they've been taking a drug. For example, the people who suffer from hypothyroidism, they take this
right,
pill early every morning and then they forget
right.
about it. So it
Okay,
is very easy to forget about it and not remember to mention it to the doctor. So my
mm,
advice over here is one of the preliminary things that you can do is, especially because this procedure is done under a local anesthetic, which has the
okay,
potential to react and act along with other medications being taken, or
right,
the systemic condition of the patient could come into focus here. So please reveal your medical history. There are every clinician now insist upon what are known as uh, for detailed patient information sheets. So be
right,
sure that you fill out your information in this. Mention what conditions you have, mention the medication that is being taken, and then consult with the doctor whether you need to take these medications or does the dose need to be altered for these, particularly in the case of in the case of corticosteroids being taken. You need to consult with your physician and your dentist both and arrive at what is necessary. Second thing over here regarding medicines would be to kind of make sure that if you have been prescribed antibiotics by the dentist, be sure to take them. Don't default on that, because then it could lead to dental infections. And as I mentioned earlier, it is a very convoluted system that we have in the tooth. So it is better to give it all the good chances that you possibly can. The other thing that you need to be very sure of is that in the case of patients who have long-standing systemic conditions, like say diabetes or blood pressure, there is often a time of the day which is most comfortable for you. Be sure
okay,
that you talk to your dentist and schedule an appointment accordingly. For example, if a patient is suffering from diabetes, then you know
right,
what is a good time for you. What is a maybe after just immediately after breakfast, but not too close to lunch.
right,
Mention this to the dentist and take an appointment which is comfortable for you. And
okay,
then the other thing would be to remember that the intent of the dentist is not to do harm. So it is very easy for me to say this, and I know that phobia of dental treatment is very real, but try and convince yourself and know for sure that no harm is going to be done. Discuss and ask whatever questions you want to the front office staff or to the dentist themselves, and bring along an accompanying person. That's always a good thing. So bring
Okay.
along an accompanying person who knows, your anxieties and tensions. It helps. If
Okay.
it helps further, you can ask the dentist for permission to have that person with you in the room for whatever period of time is comfortable. But generally, once the treatment starts, you generally are kept very comfortable and you won't need anybody around you. So this
Okay.
was, these are my basics, like, just to follow the dentist instructions and to interact regarding all the personal issues with the dentist
Yes. So just
before the
actually,
treatment.
right, of course, madam. You just meant that open communication and just giving a comprehensive medical history prior
Yes,
to the root canal treatment
yes,
would be
yes,
very, very helpful. Right, ma'am.
yes,
And like you just mentioned, that this procedure usually takes place under local anesthesia. So I'm just going to, just
yes.
to reinforce this fact, I'm going to ask this question again. That is, which is actually a very common myth, and I'm sure you'll be hearing this question quite a lot of times from the patients, from your patients. That is a root canal treatment painful? Or is this just a common myth?
Um, so, like I said just a few minutes back, was that there is no intention on the part of the dentist to cause harm. We
Right,
intend to leave things better than we found them. Uh,
right,
Coming back to the pain part, uh, the pain is very much controlled by the local anesthetic systems that we have now. So even earlier, if the local anesthetic is given well and given by a skilled person, it is very
mm,
unlikely that there will be any pain during the procedure itself. There could be some pain after the procedure, but that I will answer when you talk to me about the post part.
procedure.
But
Mhm.
during the procedure itself, it is very unlikely that you will get pain. The
Okay,
possibility of pain does arise if there is some way, a different way in your body metabolizes the local anesthetic. So
right,
sometimes you might have prior knowledge of this from a previous dental experience, or else you might be knowing about it for the first time. But whatever it is, it will be controlled by the dentist for sure. The
okay,
other thing over here to note is that sometimes the infection, if it has been allowed to fester for a very long time and it has become chronic, the way that the dental anesthetics act is a little different. So there will be a little pain till the pressure is relieved, and that is
okay,
right in the beginning, maybe for 2 or 3 minutes, and it is not a constant pain. It will just be a sharp burst of pain, and then the anesthetic takes over, and there is more delivery of the anesthetic.
okay,
Another thing that I would like to tell everybody who's watching this is that, like I said, everybody's body is different.
right,
So
right,
the metabolization of the anesthetic agent inside of a patient's body is different from patient to patient.
right.
So in case during the treatment, you start feeling that you are now feeling the sensations and there is discomfort or there is pain, immediately let your dentist know. So
Okay,
an additional bolus of anesthetic can be given. There is a huge margin of anesthetic agent which can be tolerated by the human body. So
right.
we are able to add the further bolus, and it
Mhm.
occasionally happens because, especially in the case of multi-rooted teeth. That is teeth like the back teeth or the molars, which have a huge pulp cavity. It takes time to clean it out. So it is a done thing to just add a fresh dose of antibiotic, which you
Okay,
won't felt by the patient.
right, ma'am. So after the mental preparation prior treatment, now coming on to the treatment. Okay, ma'am. So how is the root canal procedure usually performed? And what should a patient expect during this particular treatment?
The like I was mentioning to you that this is a closed circuitry. The entire tooth is a closed circuitry. So to
Oh,
get to the inside of the tooth, the dentist will initially, after the anesthetic has worked and the dentist has assured themselves that the anesthetic has worked. Then the
Right.
next thing would be to actually uh, just start drilling the tooth in order to be able to access the inside of the tooth. So
Right.
this drilling is the part actually which causes so much of hesitancy towards the procedure itself, because it emits a sound, it emits air and water at a high speed. So
Correct.
that is going to happen, but it is not going to be painful. It is going to be uncomfortable. And a lot of dentists are using rubber dams while working now. So you will not even feel the water. There will just be a suction inside your mouth, which will be taking away all your the saliva. And anything that falls into the mouth will be carted away by the suction, which
Right.
an assistant will be holding. If the rubber dam is put on, you will find the experience far better, and nothing will fall into the mouth, and you will just have to kind of lay there. And a lot of the dentists
Mm,
now have, uh, all of them for sure have music systems. Some of them
mm,
even have TVs on the ceiling, so you could, probably watch something nicely while the
right.
procedure is happening. And
Right.
you will probably smell a few chemical smells will be there, which is part of the noxious stimulants. But it will come and go, and just remember that they're disinfecting solutions which are helping to clean out your tooth system. So don't get too worried about it. The noise will come from the drilling being done. Then you will
Okay.
see that the inside of the tooth is being cleaned out by the dentist using particularly long instruments which are known as endodontic files. So these
Right.
will be, you will find, if you are watching the dentist very intently, don't get scared by the length and size of them. It is just going to be like that. And
Okay.
root canal is a very blind procedure. So that is why we need to see everything correctly.
Mm-hmm.
And if you want to cough, or if you're uncomfortable, or you want to sit up, generally the dentists themselves will tell you that raise your left hand
Right.
or right hand. Generally, it
Right.
will be the left hand if the dentist is right-handed,
Mm-hmm.
and you can just raise your hand and the procedure will stop. Nothing will
Right.
happen against your will. So you will
Right.
be given a chance to sit up. And another thing, while root canal is being done, you will find that loads of x-rays are being taken. By loads, I mean at least two or three will be taken. So like I
Oh,
was telling you that it is a blind procedure. So in
right.
order for the dentist to have eyes inside of the tooth, we take these x-rays, we put the instruments inside of the canal, and the x-rays are taken. And for that, the probably you'll be made upright in the chair and all that. But it is all done very seamlessly, and most of the dentists have a very good synchronization with their with the staff, which who are there, the auxiliary staff. So this is done very seamlessly. But be prepared that the X-rays will be taken. Don't start thinking, oh, they're taking an X-ray, so has something gone wrong? No, no, it's not like that.
Okay.
It is part of the treatment, and it is
Mhm.
done to certain that things are going the way they should. And
Right.
then if it is going to be, if it is the second part of the procedure which is being done, or you are getting the root canal done in a single sitting, then you will find that some heat element is being used to seal the material inside of the canals. So you'll probably see a singe of smoke coming out or something. So
Right.
again, not to worry, it is completely a part of the package. So it
Okay.
is just like, for us Indians, जब तक दाल में तड़का नहीं लगेगा तो मजा नहीं आता. It is like that, but not so, not exactly that. So,
Okay.
but yes, so not to worry, that is something which will happen. And like I told you, just raise a hand, and they will stop working and make you comfortable for whatever thing that you might be needed.
Right.
Sometimes you just might, feel that you need to gargle or something. It's not very easy when the rubber dam is on, but it is an option. So keep in
Right.
mind that nothing will happen unless the patient desires it.
Right.
So yes, so that will be then generally you will be given a temporary dressing for a couple of days,
Mm-hmm.
and then the next instructions will come from the dentist depending upon the case at
Okay.
hand.
Okay. Right. Like you just mentioned that usually you give a temporary dressing and the patients may be recalled after a couple of days. So how many visits does an RCT usually require? And do these number of visits, affect the success rate of the root canal treatment?
So the thing is that, like I mentioned to you, this is a closed circuitry. But the
Right.
closed circuitry also has the potential to have infection at the end of the root, which happens inside of the bone. So
Right.
just like it is just like any other wound in the body. If
Right.
you get a cut on your arm, then
Mm-hmm.
you might need sutures, and
Right.
there will be a dressing which is given, and you will be given instructions to come back maybe every alternate day for the dressing to be changed. And finally,
Right.
the sutures will be removed and the dressing will be gone, but you will still be given instructions regarding the care that is to be taken. So,
Right.
also, when we do a root canal, depending upon the intensity of the wound that is there, it
Right.
is a decision is taken whether you need a single visit root canal treatment or you need a
Mhm.
multi-visit root canal treatment. In the
Okay.
case of a single visit root canal, you will be everything will be done in a single shot, and it is
Right.
generally indicative of the fact that there is no infection present in the bone at the end of the root.
Mhm. Right.
And in the case of infection being actually present at the end of the root, but not being very large,
Mm-hmm.
so clinically we say that it should be below 2 millimeters. That is the clinical thing. So in that case, antibiotics are not given. Antibiotics are
Okay.
not required, and
Okay.
but dressing is given inside of the canal, and
Right.
this dressing could be is a medicated dressing, just
Right.
like any wound is given.
Mm-hmm.
And then the dressing is left in place for 5 to 7 days. And
Mm-hmm.
then we call the patient back, remove the dressing. There is a temporary cement that is removed, then the dressing is removed, and then the second part of the root canal is done, where, like I told you, the root canal is sealed off, and
Right.
then the temporary dressing is given.
Okay.
Occasionally, what happens is that this lesion, which is present inside of the bone at the tip of the root, could be
Right.
very large because of
Right.
its chronicity. It might be very large. So, in
Okay.
that case, for that entire infection to drain out,
Right.
we might need multiple visits. So, if
Okay.
the dentist sees evidence of the pus coming inside the canal, occasionally these visits might translate, these single visit or two visit treatments would then progress to maybe 5 or 6 visits. But that is
Okay.
okay. It is just a way of getting the root canals to dry out. There is
Mm-hmm.
really no correlation between success of a root
Okay.
canal treatment and the number of visits.
Right.
Each visit is planned according to the need of the patient at that particular moment. So
Right.
this, it really, there is no correlation between that.
Okay, wonderfully put, ma'am. Okay, now once we're done with the treatment, we're done with the number of visits, and if you're following everything in the right manner, what are the essential aftercare instructions, you would give to your patients following a root canal treatment, and now would these help, in ensuring the long-term success of this particular therapy?
Okay, so this the main thing is that most of us, we do have a post-operative care instruction sheet which is given to the patient. Sometimes
Right.
they give this as a soft copy also in the form of a
Okay.
PDF file, and in
Right.
that there are instructions for immediate post-operative care and some long-term post-operative care. So I'll
Okay.
just deal with this immediate one first.
Okay.
Firstly, the patient needs to realize that the local anesthetic has been given. So if it
Ji.
is being given on the lower part of the jaw, there is a very good possibility that the lower lip might be numb. So
Okay.
till the numbness does not go completely, I always advise my patients, don't start chewing.
Okay.
You can drink thick shakes, and you can probably eat like ice cream, which you have to suck more than eat chew actually. So don't
Mm-hmm.
chew unless you're sure the anesthetic action is gone. Otherwise, you will get cheek bites or lip bites. Because you don't
Mm-hmm.
know that you're actually chewing your own cheek or lip. So wait
Right.
till the anesthetic is completely off. The
Okay.
other thing that will happen is that you need to be aware that since because of the anxiety and because of the tension of the procedure, whatever, the patient might not have eaten or drunk anything. So be sure that you do you have prepared for it, or you go home and take, something which is liquid but substantial. The other thing is that once the anesthetic is worn off, there is a chance that the patient will start experiencing pain. So this
Okay.
pain could be arising because of two different factors. One could
Mm-hmm.
be that the tooth itself is paining. I will come to why in a bit. But the first part of it is that there could be pain arising from the injection site, where the
Okay.
anesthetic is being given, where the
Right.
needle prick has happened, even that could be paining. So just
Okay.
try and identify where is it that the pain is actually happening. The
Okay.
soreness is going to be there for a while.
Mm-hmm.
And also
Okay.
remember that a lot of cheek pulling must have happened during the
Mm-hmm.
procedure. So
Right.
this could also, a lot of things have been put in your mouth. So a general soreness is to be expected. Don't get
Okay.
upset or worried about that. And
Mm-hmm.
for this coverage, a very basic ibuprofen tablet will work just fine. There is nothing to get worried about.
Okay.
On the other side of the spectrum, again, is you might start getting pain in the tooth itself, which has been treated.
Right.
So this could simply be because of the cement getting pushed out of the tooth, or
Okay.
some part of the tooth touching where it should not be touching. So this is
Right.
rectified. It's not, I know I'm saying it by rectified very simply by a short visit to the dentist, but it is, you
Right.
have to put aside your work and you haven't planned for this
Right.
eventuality, and then you have to go in and get that thing rectified. But it is rectifiable. It is nothing to worry about.
Okay.
So these are the basic things you can expect immediately after. Um, in the long term, there will be a period of settling down, which the dentist will allow
Mm-hmm.
you, wherein there will be a gap, say maybe of 3 or 4 days, or I prefer 7 days between the root canal treatment and the
Right.
definitive final filling. So when the
Okay.
definitive final filling, you are called for that, be sure that
Mm-hmm.
you don't miss that appointment. Don't be
Right.
now complacent that I have a filling in the mouth and the tooth is pain free, so I'm done. No, that is not the end of it. So this
Okay.
tooth has been it has been battered by the caries or the tooth decay which
Mm-hmm.
has happened. In further,
Right.
there is then there has been further battering because
Mm-hmm.
of the procedure done by the dentist. So because
Right.
of that, this tooth now needs to be covered. So that is
Okay.
called a crown.
Okay.
Generally, when the patient comes in on the next visit, we put in the permanent filling, and at the same time we do a slight reduction of the tooth structure to take an impression and beg your pardon. We are take an impression and have it sent to the lab so that a crown can be made. So these are
Okay.
procedures which generally the patient, I would say about 10% of the patients don't come back for the crowns. About
Okay.
20% of them are happy with the permanent filling.
Okay.
Sorry, about another 10% of them don't get the permanent filling also done. They're happy with
Okay.
the temporary filling. So don't do all this. Like these are
Mm-hmm.
steps which are essential to what Dr. Soumya has been asking me about, the longevity of the treatment. They will
Right.
contribute hugely to the prognosis and the longevity. So it is important that you follow these steps.
Right, ma'am. So another question about again the long-term success of the treatment. So is it true that a root canal treated tooth, it becomes weak over time? And if so, what can be done to protect it?
So a root canal treated tooth becomes it does not become weak over time. I would say it becomes every tooth in our mouth is now expected to survive. Assuming that we have our first tooth out, the first molar in the oral cavity comes out when we are about 5 or 6 years of age.
Right.
I'm sorry. And this needs to not only stay in the oral cavity, it needs to perform all the functions in the oral cavity for another
Right.
80 years. Because 80 years, 80 plus is now how long we see people living. I have seen a lot of patients walk into my clinic who are 80 plus and they want just the same kind of treatment. So the
Right.
longevity of the tooth is very dependent upon the way um, the surrounding area is also of the tooth is also kept clean. So it is not enough to get a root canal treatment, get a crown, and then forget about it. The
Right.
structures around the tooth, around that tooth, need to be taken care of as well. It doesn't really weaken. It
Okay.
bears all the stresses, and it is been worked upon by the dentist. And like I said, it has already taken a hit by with the tooth decay
Right.
that has happened. So it is likely that its life will decrease, but you can help to minimize this weakness damage by
Hmm.
making sure that a crown is put on,
Right.
that the permanent restoration is done, and that the crown is put on.
Okay. So as long as the patient has undergone the treatment in the correct manner, and of course the aftercare of, the post
And
care
no
or the
steps are missed.
yes. And if they are following the aftercare instructions properly, probably that would actually help, in increasing the life of that particular tooth.
Yes.
Right, ma'am. Right. And now coming on to something that we've been working on for a very long time is the patient-associated misinformation. We have a lot of social media influencers these days, ma'am. And, it becomes very
Yes.
difficult for all of us, to differentiate between reliable dental advice and misinformation. So, how does health literacy would empower such patients to make informed decisions about root canal treatment?
So, like you very rightly mentioned, we unfortunately have a very huge what and further growing WhatsApp university. So a lot of information comes from there. Uh, but there are other university sites, and a lot of these universities are having YouTube channels wherein they put in podcasts, they put in reels, they'll put in short videos like we will be soon, so wherein the information is coming in. So my advice is, don't look at individual accounts, or don't look at individuals who are relating self experiences, because we don't know what is being told to us, that what is being told to us is being told to us in entirety, is some part being hidden, or only what is to the benefit of the person is being mentioned. So it is a little biased.
Right.
So go to a information center like THIP, or else, like I was saying, universities and scholars and researchers are also waking up to the situation and putting themselves out on social media. So do a little bit of R&D and go for these sites. That is my sincere request. I'm
That
not
would
saying
be.
that WhatsApp gives all wrong information, but on
Mhm.
occasion it does. So I would always verify that.
Yes, because I feel that background check of the speaker on screen, I think, is the
Yes,
key here. So if we know that we are listening from the right person, probably there'll be minimum chances for us to deviate from the right.
true.
Right, ma'am. So I am just going to summarize this wonderful session. That can you suggest a comprehensive to-do list for patients who have been advised to undergo root canal therapy, let's say including both pre-treatment preparation and post-treatment care.
Okay, so the most comprehensive list, be sure that you are telling everything that the doctor needs to know. Tell your entire
Right.
medical history. Uh, uh, Approach the treatment in a very fair and comfortable frame of mind. Uh, Schedule your day around the treatment. Do
Right.
that for sure. And
Right.
take a person along if it is needed. And
Right.
post treatment care is, listen to the advice that the doctor has given you. And over here, and even in the pre treatment, don't hesitate to ask questions. The questions will make you more comfortable and make you deal with things in a better way. So be sure that you're asking questions. And remember that remember that there's a fine line between being paranoid and actually needing help. So reach
Right.
out if you need help, but at the same time, remember that a bit of discomfort is expected.
Okay. So I suppose open communication with your doctor and then adherence to, the aftercare recommendations or instructions is probably the key. Right. Right, ma'am. So on that wonderful note, Dr. Shalini, we deeply appreciate your presence with us today, ma'am, and I have really, really high hopes that This session will prove to be incredibly beneficial for many people who are struggling with toothache and they're just paranoid to go to the right person for their treatment. So thank you so much for joining us. It's really been a pleasure.
Thank you so much, Dr. Soumya. Have a wonderful day.
Okay. Thank you so much, ma'am. And for more such informative videos, please do subscribe to our channel and press the bell icon for regular updates. Thank you once again. Thank you.